From Studio 1A in Tampa, Florida, comes a talk show that really feels your pain and tells you like it is. We love America and all that freedom-loving Americans want to protect. Live from coast to coast and on your radio, it's For the People with Keith Allen.
We'll help you survive this thing called life. We're for the people. Whatever your source of stress or strife, for the people is there.
Hello, Mr. and Mrs. America. I am Keith Allen, and you're tuned to For the People Weekend. Now, normally, just after the State of the Union, which I thought Donald Trump did a phenomenal job, we could be talking about that, but I thought, you know what? I have somebody that is doing something across the country in a fresh way, a dynamic way, a loving way, with her music for 3 decades. I'm talking about Kathy Tricoli. She's been around for several decades, just like I've been doing radio for several decades. But you have a tour, Kathy, that you're going around the country, from what I understand, encouraging people, hurting people. This past 2017 was a year of natural disasters, storms, shootings, just a lot of turmoil in people's lives and in this country and abroad, and you're going around loving on people with your music. Kathy, welcome to For the People.
Oh, thank you so much. I agree with you wholeheartedly, especially with the last year, all that's going on. Man, I tell you, our words and the arts and all that could be used for life and death. So I'm continuing to want to just get out there and offer, some good encouragement and hope. And also, by the way, thank you for being so kind with the several years, like you being out there.
Well, I appreciate, because you've been more of an encouragement to me with your ministry, with Christian music. It's a funny thing because, as a kid, I got turned on to, Michael W. Smith and, Amy Grant, and they're still doing music. They're still writing, still producing. And when I was getting into radio, Christian radio, that is, those songs were on. And then I'll never forget, Kathy, when you came up with this song, and I know you'll recognize the bar of this, but it was one of the big ones. No, that's not it. But that's a little intrude. That's okay. The first one was Go Light Your World.
Oh, gosh, isn't that an anthem?
Some brightly burning, some dark and cold. There is a spirit who brings a fire, ignites a candle, and makes his home. So carry your candle, run to the darkness.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, there is a proper introduction for who we're talking about today, who we're talking with, as a matter of fact. Kathy Tricoli, it is unbelievable to have you on For the People because of you. Your heart, your ministry, your heart is praising Jesus, lifting Jesus up, loving on people in a real, tangible way. Now, I need to gloat over you just a little bit because, there are some, believe it or not, that may have never listened to an album of yours.
Please introduce me.
Kathy Tricoli,
Yeah.
3 decades, right? And of doing music, and the accolades include 18 folks, #1 radio hits, 2 Dove Awards, 19 Dove Award nominations, 3 Grammy nominations, rather successful in Christian music. But Christian music's not the same stuff it used to be back 25, 30 years ago. It sounds really good. and it's got a message.
Yes.
A message.
Yes.
People need, more than anything, as you know, positiveness. The negativity in this world, through media, through television, through movies, there's just this, sometimes there's a dark cloud in life. And Christian radio, for me, to listen to, just that song that we just listened to, I mean, you get tons of songs, but Go Light Your World. I mean, you literally are taking that song into the world, and on top of album after album, blanketing the airwaves with something good, something wholesome, something encouraging, and something everlasting that points people to the one, Jesus Christ. So, and you continue doing that, 3 decades later?
Well, I appreciate you talking about that. I think there's few of us, obviously you mentioned Amy and Michael, who are Christian music icons. I don't take for granted. I mean, I'm still out there on the road, and I'll get on the stage, and I'll walk out there and want to weep when I'm getting a standing ovation just for coming out there. But I think, honestly, I have gone through so much in my life, and I think sometimes when we've gone through our own stuff and our own suffering, you could either come out of it a real embittered person, or learn from it and go, gosh, I want to pass on what I've taken from all of this, and the new day and the new hope and the new person I am. And so what I've done, especially in the last, I'd say, decade, is go, gosh, I just want to comfort people with that comfort I've received. And everywhere you turn, it's not just, I mean, you could look on the news. You mentioned 2017, the Las Vegas shootings, the tornadoes, the floods. You have it all over the news, but you also have it in the individual lives and families and
True.
People that are just hurting. And, I wasn't a church girl. I wasn't brought up in the church. And so there's an element to my person and my presentation that is very, I mean, that's what I sort of,
yeah.
If I may compliment you, you just say it like it is, and you're in people's face with what you believe. And I think that people have appreciated the fact that I get up in front of the audience and I don't try to be something I'm not. And, you add that New York Italian to it. And,
so true.
You get that presentation that I want people to leave going, gosh, I believe this girl. She's got something I want. I mean, I often have people say, God, I wish I brought my sister who would never step foot in a church, or she needs to hear you. And sometimes I think we hide behind our pain instead of using our pain for the greater good for people.
I think you're right. And it's one of those things, because just the way the entertainment field is, where you see the album covers, and, there's the hair, the makeup, the clothes, everything they have to do this to market your music. And they don't, not everybody gets that Kathy Tricoli has gone through some bad times. Kathy Tricoli had a tough time, but she looks great. How could Kathy Tricoli sing like that? How could she look like that? I mean, she's so successful, but she had those bad things happen. Do bad things happen to good people?
Well, I think, we have to remember that all of us are flesh and blood, and we all have clay feet. We could, like you said, we could all look good on the outside, but everybody has a past. Everybody is going through something. My mother used to say, Kathleen, never want to be somebody else, because you don't know what they're going through. And all I want to do is kind of, through song and through sharing real life stories, is to say to people, because so many of us get up in the morning with an ache in our souls, and we're going through work with it.
Yes.
We're worrying about our kids, our grandkids. We're worrying about the bills. We're worrying about now not only what's happening in our internal lives, but worrying about what's happening internationally, and what it's going to be like for our kids and grandchildren. So
yeah, a lot of stressors.
That's exactly right. And so, I am blown away that I say it every week. I can't believe I still get to do this and still get to do this powerfully. And I think part of it is people want authenticity, and I have a love affair with my audience. There's never a time that, unless I'm sick,
Yeah.
that after an event, that I don't shake the hands and look people in their eyes and say, you matter.
Yes.
And that's why I'm going all over the country with Comfort by Candlelight. I'm doing like a 2-hour speak share with a Michelle Margiotto, who's an amazing piano player, guitar player.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, Keith, I'm getting like these 4 generations of people.
That's incredible.
People are bringing their, the people that like you, that Go Light Your World was out in the 90s.
Yeah.
They're bringing their
I was
children
in my
and their
20s.
children.
I was in my
Yeah, exactly.
my early 20s, 21, 22, and that just blew me away. It blew me away when I heard that song.
I have a new, I've done new projects. I produced new stuff. I even do jazz. I sang at the Metropolitan Room in New York City this last year. But, you get to a point.
You go, girl.
With radio, that doesn't mean if you're not hearing somebody asked me the other day, about the radio, and I'm still creating music and products and all of that.
Brian Duncan, he may not be doing CCM all the time, but he went on with another band and created a bunch of other music, but still loves God.
Talk about a voice. There you go.
Oh, Brian, I love Brian. I've spent some time out in Northern California, and he's a hoot. He really is. What a great guy.
He's so quick-witted. I know. He's very, very funny.
Fun, and I love the Econo Band.
Yeah.
Love the band. Kathy, we love you. And let me just ask you a few questions. Now, you have this Comfort tour going on where you're bringing encouragement to folks. Do you have
By the way, if I can interrupt you, Keith, a minute, if people want to find out about that schedule,
that's it.
They could just go on my website, KathyTricoli.com. It's spelled like broccoli with a T. I've gotten that my whole life.
You know where I was going. All right, Kathy Tricoli, Troccoli, and there is some Italian in that blood of yours.
I'd say 150%.
I would say so, too. Beautiful, too. I don't think Italian ladies ever age. Kathy, you look terrific. Now, let me ask you.
It's the olive oil.
All right, forgot about it. We got some olive oil.
Oh, you're doing good.
All right. Well,
good.
I had an Uncle Rocco, believe it or not. His name was Rocco Aceta.
Oh my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
And
I joke about the Italian family in New York that will still, like, if I open the Bible and start reading it, you'll have some uncles that'll come in the room and go, "Aren't you done with that book yet?"
Yeah, that's right.
So it's a different kind of culture.
Now, on this Comfort album that you produced, are you using some of the music off that album for this tour?
Oh yeah. In fact, you mentioned the Comfort tour. Through this tour, I got so many people going, do you have like a video of this, or can I bring this home to, I have a sister in the hospital with breast cancer, my son's in prison, or man, I have a daughter that's addicted to cocaine, and all, you can imagine the stories. So what I did was I put a comfort box together that has songs that have been on the radio that are comforting, and other songs. It's all just comfort music.
All right.
And
well, let's listen to some of it. If you would now, I'm on the Comfort album. Is there any song there that you'd recommend that we could play now? Or is which one?
For example, A Love That Won't Walk Away, or Goodbye for Now. Goodbye for Now might be. You could play a little of that, and I'll explain where that came from.
All right. Goodbye for Now. And this is Kathy Tricoli here on For the People. And if you're just joining us, it is a musical show along with our guest, Kathy Tricoli here.
I can't believe that you're real.